Hey, folks. Hope you can hear me. So, this is really the first time I've been back in about a week or so. I've been dealing with some heart issues. I am lucky in knowing that I have one of the very rare heart conditions out there, vasospasms. Basically, it's where the arteries shrink up and restrict the flow of blood to your heart, which mimics a heart attack. So, anyway, finally get on some medication. So tonight is a Friday night, and I have been looking at all of the. There's debates going on Facebook. There's debates going on Discord, everywhere, saying that Christianity isn't true. People are taking scripture out of context. People are promoting Mormonism. So I know it's really late, and maybe, just maybe, we'll be lucky enough to get some Mohammedans in. But if you have doubts, if you have attacks or criticisms of Christianity, if you think that you can successfully attack Christianity, come here. And the title is Restart Your Heart. Why? It's very simple. Saturday, I almost died. Life and death is not something to play around with. So my question to you is, are you prepared for death? What is your answer going to be? And I have linked, right now I'm streaming on 3 different platforms. I'm streaming on Rumble, I'm streaming on Studio, or YouTube, and I'm streaming on Twitch. In addition, I also have my Discord channel up and running. So what I want to do is basically anyone who wants to talk, come on in. Let's talk about it. Let's talk about and let's see if your decision, if what you believe is really, really true. Are you an atheist? Are you a Mormon? What are you? Are you a Muslim? Let's talk. Let's restart our hearts. Let's see what the truth is. Now, since it is this late at night, I'm really not expecting to get anyone in here, but I figured I'd just give it a try. I had to spend a couple of hours setting up my software and just wanting to know if there's anyone who has a comeback, who thinks that they have an answer, who thinks that they can tell me that Christianity is false. Because you know what? When it comes down to the line, when your heart stops beating, when you're faced with the knowledge at that time that this is it, you have taken your last breath, it gets serious, folks. Crap gets serious. So I want to listen to the atheist explain that to me, why it's no big deal. I want to listen to the atheist explain that to me. How about the Mormon? Is there anyone out there who actually wants to talk about this? And I am guessing at this time of night, no. You're probably either sleeping or too busy partying. But I've got the stage going right now. Come at me. Let's talk about it. What are you going to do when death hits you? What are you going to do when it comes to that time? What are you going to do when every single day you have to deal with mortality, What's your answer? Do you know with certainty where you're going to be? Do you know with certainty anything that's going to happen? If you do, prove it. Is it just a guess? So, I'm waiting if anyone will come in. And I'm thinking no. So, what I'm going to do, I'm going to do what I can to get some activity going tonight. But if no one wants to talk, I will start tomorrow. Because finally, I've got some medication going that is giving me the energy that I need. And just in case you guys get too intense, I got some nitroglycerin to pump start my heart. So, really, what is your answer? What is your answer? So when death is knocking on the door. So almost a week ago, it'll be a week ago tomorrow, I was in a store about 45 minutes from where I live. And it was actually a bookstore because I wanted to get a book for my daughter. She's practicing some stuff, and I wanted to help her out. And while I was in there walking around, I wasn't on the right dose of medication that I needed to be on. All of a sudden, my heart tensed up. I was out of breath, dizzy. I could barely stand, losing my vision, and I began to collapse. Thankfully, 2 miles away was a hospital. Normally, nitroglycerin, okay, you take one of these pills, it should be enough. What it does is it opens up the veins and arteries in your body to allow for blood flow. Normally, one is enough. They had to give me the maximum dose, which is 1 every 5 minutes for a total of 3. Now, they did some blood tests. Obviously, there was some heart damage, but it wasn't a heart attack. What had happened is the arteries in my heart spasmed. They constricted. Basically, they reduced the blood flow to my heart to a trickle. I was inches away from death. We never really know when our time is going to come. So my question is, are you prepared for your time when it does come? And if you're an atheist, if you're boldly going to stand there and say there is no God, challenge me. I got the debate. I got the Discord. You click on that stage link. I've got it pinned in the chat room. It'll bring you right on the stage. Raise your hand. Challenge me. If you're a Islamist, prove to me that Allah will give you an endless penis if you die. If you're a Muslim or a Mormon, prove to me that you are actually forgiven and that you can make it to the celestial heaven and that you can become a god or a goddess. If you're a New Ager, Buddhist, whatever, prove to me that you can become one with the universe. Do you know for certainty where you're going, or is it all theology? Because, guys, when it comes down to it, when it really, really, really comes down to the wire, when you're sitting there, when you're facing life and death, you've got to be able to just say, hey, all right, is what I believe true? Is what I believe true? So I'm going to go ahead. And put up a new link here. Pin that. And this should be an updated link for you to be able to get you on the stage. Since I had to restart everything twice. Okay, so click on that link and that will bring you onto the stage. So I'm open for talk. So basically, it'll bring you into Discord. Hopefully, you have a Discord account. It'll bring you right to the stage of my server. It'll give you temporary member access. You go in there, there's a button for you to raise a hand. I'll bring you on stage and we'll talk. Because I want to know, what is your answer when death comes knocking? You say Christianity isn't true. You say that we're just a bunch of bigots, that Christianity doesn't apply to today's age. Prove it. Prove it. From where do you get your standards? Is there anyone brave enough to come on here? I am openly challenging you. Openly challenging you. So let's do it. Shall I post more in Facebook? Let's see if we can find a debate group here. Doesn't seem like anyone really wants to join in. Maybe it's just too late for people to think. Let's see. We got no rules, religious debate. Just trying to see if we can get some people on here who want to talk. You know, I haven't been on in quite a while. Quite a while. Because of my heart, because of my health. And I am here now. See if anyone wants to come in. But I don't think so. I am not seeing anyone come in. I mean, how am I supposed to talk? So, atheists believe in annihilation. First of all, I don't believe there is such a thing as an atheist. Prove to me that there is an atheist. I don't think you're an atheist. I think you're an idiot. Muslims, you're almost as bad. Mormons, you really need some work in your theology because you're pantheists, and Joseph Smith just stole everything from Christianity. New Agers, you've taken a little too much drugs. Same thing for you who are in witchcraft. Buddhism, yeah, go. Shintoism. Let's do some ancestor worship. That'll do it. So come on, anyone. I don't think there's going to be anyone coming in. So I don't know. I don't think so. I put the link up. And I don't think they're going to come in. So let's see if anyone's going to come in. I'm just going to wait here for a bit. Maybe we should continue listening to some music. I really, really, really like that song. It's from Dax. It was a remix um, called God's Eyes. So I'm gonna listen to that for a little bit, see if anyone is willing to come in. Let's get in. I know there's people watching. Do you just want to listen or do you want to come in? Let's talk. Let's talk. You say Christianity's a bunch of bunk? Let's talk about it. All right? I am ready to die for it. I almost did. Are you ready to die for your beliefs? Are you that sure? Are you that confident? Click on the pinned link. It will take you right to the stage and we can talk right now. Are you brave enough to do that? I am seriously waiting to see if anyone will come in if you're brave enough to do that. I can tell that there are people watching this stream right now. It shows me the numbers. So, folks, are you going to come in? I got 3 channels up. Rumble, YouTube, Twitch. Just chatting. Come on. See, the challenge is they won't come in. So, okay, I'm going to lay it out there. Everything else is false. Everything else, what you believe that isn't Christian, is false. It's a bunch of bunk. It's made up man stuff. It's not going to do anything for you. And on the day that you die, you're going to be in terror because you don't know what's going to be coming. You haven't a clue. You haven't a clue. You don't know what's going to be coming, and you're going to be shaking, and you're going to be peeing your pants because you don't know what's going to come, and you're going to be scared to death. You're not going to have any peace. You're not going to have any comfort. And when you end up where you end up, you're going to feel like such an idiot because the answer's been out there all along. So that's what I'm saying right now. So prove me wrong. Restart the heart, guys. My heart's been restarted. Has yours? Has yours? Literally, I am giving people the opportunity to come in right now and challenge me and say, yo, you're wrong, man. So come in and do it. What is wrong? How come you cannot? Let's do it. Are you a Christian? Okay, let's talk. If you're a Christian, let's talk. Let's talk about what we know is going to happen. Maybe we can give some hope to the ignorance out there, to those who willingly deny the truth. Because that's what you're doing. That's what Scripture says. The Bible calls a bunch of people fools in the Bible, but 2 main people. It says, the fool has said in his heart, there is no God. Are you that fool? The second fool in Proverbs is the one who follows their heart. So are you following a feeling in your heart, a burning in a bosom? Or do you have evidence? For example, the empty grave. The Christians who willingly went martyred to their death to the lions. So all they had to do was deny Christ. That's all they had to do. And they would have been saved. Every single apostle except one died a horrible death. And John the Apostle, though he did live out his natural life, it was not easy. Exiled to the Isle of Patmos. There's tradition he was boiled in oil. He lived a very, very, very hard life. People do not live those lives for a lie. And explain the empty tomb. You can't. You can't. The theories about Christ not really dying on the cross, that he swooned, no. Even the skeptics of his time period, even those who were very much against Christianity, wrote about what happened. Hebrew, Greek, Roman. It's all out there. It's all out there. But you're not going to answer because you don't have an answer and you're afraid to confront the truth. And that's the issue. So I guess I'll go back to listening to music because no one here is brave enough to respond. I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to attack you atheists out there. I'm going to attack you atheists and see if you can really, really substantiate if you can stand up. Okay, so let's go ahead and get over here. What is going on? For some reason, it does not want to show DuckDuckGo. What is wrong with that? What is wrong? Hmm. Doesn't want to show it. That is interesting. Is DuckDuckGo no longer operable with OBS? That's interesting. That is very, 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 very interesting. Okay. Well, I don't think I'm going to get any Mormons in here tonight, so let's do this. I don't think I'm going to get any Mormons in. So I can always go back to it. So okay, how the Big Bang Theory works. Okay, this is from the website. It's been around for ages. It's a summary website. Basically, it's called How Stuff Works. And you know what? We're all taught in school, at least educated, or how should I say, indoctrinated, that the Big Bang Theory works. But you know what? There are some problems with it. First of all, it does violate the first law of thermodynamics, which says you can't create or destroy matter or energy. And the Big Bang Theory talks about critics. I always puts critics in here because obviously these are evolutionists. It does not suggest the universe began out of nothing. It literally states the universe began out of nothing. There was nothing, and then bang, it exploded. How can nothing explode? Okay. They're the proponents, which means people who support the Big Bang, say that such criticism is unwarranted for two reasons. First is that the Big Bang doesn't address the creation of the universe, but rather the evolution of it. Really? Really? So nothing explodes into something, so that's not a creation of anything. And that the laws of science break down as you approach the creation of the universe? How do they know that? Have they duplicated that in a lab? Have they been able to duplicate any of that? No. Why is there that hydrogen collider going on right now? No. These are all just theories, okay? They don't want to let go of the Big Bang. It violates the first law of thermodynamics. Secondly, the formation of stars and galaxies violate the law of entropy, which suggests systems of change become less organized over time. But it's true. If you look at the universe right now, we've got galaxies in perfect formations. Okay, when you look at spiral galaxies, the insides of the galaxies spiral faster than the outside. The arms should be flung all over the place. And then we have the evidence of redshift of celestial bodies and microwave background radiation. Seriously, there have been some issues. Now people are starting looking into plasma instead of redshift. That redshift isn't moving away. It's not the train coming towards you and away from you. And then this is a huge one. Okay, they use the word appears, but quite literally, the early inflationary period of the Big Bang, it has to violate the rule that nothing can travel faster than the speed of light. So what do they do to the supporters of the Big Bang? They say, well, at the start of the Big Bang, the theory of relativity didn't apply. Really? So the laws of physics didn't result. So they evolved over time as well. And then space itself can expand faster than the speed of light. And as space can fall. Oh, really? So then it falls out of the domain of the theory of gravity. How do they know this? They don't know this. But literally, it does. If you take it on common sense on what really goes on, the inflationary period of the Big Bang, it does. It doesn't appear. It does violate the rule that nothing can travel faster than the speed of light. Nothing. Nothing. Yet you attack Christians by saying, well, how did the light get here so fast? Answer that question. So there are other models that try to explain the development. You've got the steady state, ekpyte model, whatever, talking about collision of dimensions. We have no evidence of any of this stuff. This is all people trying to explain away the universe without a creator, without a creating hand. The Big Bounce, ooh, one of a series of universes that first expand, they're contracted again. Okay, whatever, but where do they start? There has to be a starting point. There has to be a starting point. Then plasma cosmology. Yeah, there are so many different models because honestly, guys, people are abandoning the Big Bang Theory left and right. Okay, it's falling apart. And if the Big Bang really did explode like it supposedly did, and the amount of time went by that supposedly has gone by, we should see an equal distribution of heat throughout the universe, but we don't see that. We see hot spots and we see dark spots. Look at the second law of thermodynamics is that heat will always be attracted to colder regions because naturally nature wants everything even. I mean, that's the reason for storms on the earth. It is caused by an imbalance in the atmosphere due to heat, pressure, all of that stuff, and storms are a result of the atmosphere trying to equalize everything. I mean, that's just minuscule. But we look at the Big Bang stars. Look at the new telescope that was just put out there. It's the James Webb Telescope. Scientists were expecting to see the beginnings of the universe. No, what are they seeing when they look back there? They're seeing galaxies, fully formed. They're not seeing any of the early type stars. Evolution is a bullcrap theory. It's false. Defend it. You can't. You can't defend it. So it's even gotten to the point where it's gotten so ridiculous as far as evolution goes that they're saying that, well, life didn't actually evolve here on Earth. Aliens came by and planted life. That's a theory called transpermia. Okay, where did the aliens come from? And if evolution, okay, Darwinian evolution really is a real thing, how come we're not seeing it happening right now? We should be seeing thousands of examples of it, not just one or two, thousands, because it should be ongoing everywhere. We're not seeing a single example. Don't use natural selection so a beak on a finch changes. It's still a finch. It's still a bird. Nothing has changed with the beak. You can't prove it. If you're an atheist, believing in naturalism, believing in evolution, believing in the Big Bang, you're an idiot. The Bible talks about that, okay? Proclaiming themselves to be wise, they became fools. And they began to worship the creation rather than the creator. That's what's going on here. There are too many issues with that. Too many issues. And then you have the Mormons. I mean, look, heaven and hell, okay? On the right side is heaven. That's the star Kolob. You know, Mormons get a little confused because, in their theology, it says a planet and a star, but quite literally it says a star. So, all these people dressed in white robes are on a star Kolob, the closest to Heavenly Father. So what happens to the really, 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 really bad guys? Well, that's Hitler on the left there. He's drinking a martini on a beach, okay? He's on the celestial heavens, okay? They believe that Jesus saved everyone. The only ones that cannot be saved, that will go to outer darkness, are the ones that were once Mormon and decide to leave the church. Okay, that's a nice cultic scare tactic right there. There's no answer to it. So literally, you can be a mass murderer, you can be a rapist, You can be a cannibal. It doesn't matter what. You're still going to be in some sort of paradise. It doesn't matter. But if you're really, really, really good and you can really make it, hey, you're going to get on one of the hottest places in the universe on a star. It's kind of things are a little backwards there. And then we got the Muslims. Don't even get me started on that. Your destiny, whether or not you go to heaven or hell, is already decided before you were created, okay? That is ultimately Calvinism, all right? So the only way, really, you can guarantee that you could get into Muslim paradise is by killing yourself in a war jihad against unbelievers. That's the only way you can do it. And then you can get your virgins and your sex slaves. And what about, some of those sex slaves, they were actually taken out of hell. So all the really pretty women that went to hell, they suddenly get released to hell, so they have the pleasure of serving the Muslim man. I mean, seriously, it's all about sex. You have an infinitely long penis. The woman has an infinitely long vajayjay. I mean, seriously. And they talk about butts. A woman will have a butt a mile wide. I mean, you find that attractive? I mean, dude, seriously. When she goes to the bathroom, how does she wipe it? I mean, that's your Muslim heaven? Really? That sounds great. And then you've got these wackos that say, well, we're going to be one with the universe, as if the universe has a mind of its own. No, it has laws, and that's just basically it. Laws of nature. There's a lot of collisions going on. There's a lot of particles out there just kind of hanging out there. It's random stuff. Nothing is really happening. Okay? It doesn't have a mind of its own. It's material, okay? It's matter. It doesn't have a brain. But you want to become one with it? Seriously? I tell you what, why don't we do what the Druids did and a lot of the other pagans do? Let's start sacrificing people. We're actually doing that right now in the name of science. That's what we had with the recent scandemic jabs and the monkeypox vaccine coming out right now. And Bill Gates wants to reduce the population of the world to 100 million people. Let's start sacrificing people. Oh, we're doing that through abortion already. We're killing babies in their mother's wombs. And sometimes in some states, the babies will be born and they'll decide whether or not to let the baby die on the table. We are sacrificing people. So, actually paganism is alive and well. So, yeah, you guys make a lot of common sense, but yeah, it's a woman's right to our body. It's the woman's right to our body. Well, the baby growing inside of you has different DNA. It's not your body. You don't have the right to kill it. No, you don't have the right to kill it. Even in the case of rape or incest, it's not the child's fault. Matter of fact, there are many abortion survivors and many people who have been born from rape and incest who are very thankful that their mothers didn't kill them. And every single one of you who are listening to me talk right now, you better be thankful that your mother didn't kill you. All right? There's one thing that every abortionist, everyone who kills an unborn baby has in common. You know what that is? Their mother didn't kill them. So yeah, let's sacrifice our children on the altar of convenience. Yeah, your morality is really, 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 really up there. All right? Yeah, you guys are great. How about let's do some ancestor worship, okay? We got a lot of indigenous cultures that do that. We have some Eastern religions that do that. Your ancestors, they're dead. They're spirits. They're stupid. They're dead. They can't help you. Honor your ancestors. They're dead. They don't care. But you worship your ancestors? I mean, seriously? And then there's those of you who worship nature and trees and, I mean, literally tree huggers and everything like that. I don't know if this is still going on, but I remember back in the 90s and even 80s, people used to climb up in trees to prevent them from being cut down. I mean, seriously, that's your lifelong goal? People right now are super gluing themselves to roads to stop oil emissions. Well, guess what? It's turning out that actually CO2 is actually very beneficial to this planet. A lot of trees and plants are growing because you know what? trees and plants, the process of photosynthesis, you need CO2. So yeah, and Al Gore and Greta, I don't want to get into her, but they already predicted that this world would have been over by now. It's never happened. Um, it's all fear tactics to gain control. It's a religion of naturalism. You're worshiping the creation instead of the creator. That's what you're doing. So, in light of that, get on the link. I have that link. It'll bring you right to the stage. Bring you right to the stage. And in the light of everything that I've said, show me how wrong and how stupid Christianity is. I'll show you an empty grave. Okay? I'll show you an empty grave and you have no answer for it. I'll show you lives that have been changed completely, 100%, not by their own, but not by the person's own doing, but by something else on the outside, changed for the better. I'll show you hell's angel enforcers who become completely different people. People involved in witchcraft, murderers on death row, completely different people. Lives changed. Healings done, miracles done. I can show you so much. What can you show me? Science, so-called? Everything that changes every 20 years? I literally have a book on the universe that I got when I was 10 years old. I'm still holding on to it because I think it's funny. Talking about the age of the universe and how all this stuff was formed and blah, 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 blah. This was before a lot of our satellites flew past it. They were even guessing on Pluto. They had no idea. Pluto was a planet back then. And now everyone keeps pushing the age back. It's like, time is some miracle worker. Let's add more and more time. It's idiotic. It's idiotic. So, and then dinosaurs. I mean, some of the theories of dinosaurs are really, really stupid. Some say they starved to death. Others said there was a meteor strike. So many weird hypotheses. You look at how they date dinosaur bones, okay? They date dinosaur bones by the strata that they find them in. But how do they date the strata? They date the strata by what they find in it. That's how archaeology works. Even when they find artifacts of pottery and stuff like that, that's how they date it. It's circular reasoning, guys. It's circular dating. Okay? And don't give me this carbon dating and radiometric stuff. It is proven to be so wildly inaccurate. It is. It is. I mean, literally, Mount St. Helens, that eruption, okay, happened in, 1980? All right? Scientists took 3 samples from it, sent it to 3 separate labs, didn't tell the labs where it came from, and asked them to do a radioisotope dating on it, okay? Each date was extremely different, from thousands of years to billions of years. And literally, this was just rock taking from the top of Mount St. Helens. Okay? The rate today, what's going on today, does not answer what happened in the past. You cannot prove it. So I'm here debunking everything because everyone's afraid to get on here and debate this with me. Prove it. Prove me wrong. Prove me wrong. Okay? Natural selection is not evolution. Natural selection is not a bird turning into a snake. Okay? Natural selection is not a finch turning into a falcon. It has nothing to do with that. There is no ape to man. Matter of fact, a lot of these supposedly ancestors, ape-like ancestors, have been proven to be fakes and false. I mean, Lucy, the Lucy skeleton. So the guy was paid to go out and try to find an ancestor to humanity, and all of a sudden his funding was about to get cut. And guess what? All of a sudden he found the Lucy skeleton. What they don't tell you was the parts of the skeleton were literally miles apart. Miles apart. And very, very tiny remains of that skeleton were found. Yet Lucy is supposedly considered a relative. I mean, get your heads out of your butts and let's start thinking here. And you're saying Christianity is wrong? Okay, let's think about the Norse gods. Let's think about the Greek gods, where you had Zeus and Apollo and everything. I mean, they're fighting each other, and they're so weak that they can only control one sphere of element or whatever. I mean, their father, the Titan Kronos, swallowed all of them except for Zeus. I mean, wow, these are really powerful gods. And then you've got like the Norse mythology and the Norse gods. I mean, this is ridiculous. So if you guys want to rebuke me, rebut me, just click on that Discord link. It will bring you right. It will bring you right to the stage, and you can talk your hearts out and tell me how wrong Christianity is. You can't do it. Either you can't do it, or you won't do it, or you're too shy to do it. Or maybe all of the guys listening is Christians. I just, I give up because I don't think there's anyone here who wants to give an answer. Mormons, you honestly think that you can become gods. Boy, you have no idea how blasphemous that is. And it's kind of interesting. Your own scripture, okay? The Book of Mormon talks about, first of all, you have to do everything. Have you done all that you can do? All right. And then I'm sure this verse comes into memory. Before grace is even sufficient for you, you have to deny yourselves of all ungodliness and perfect yourself in Christ. Basically, you have to become perfect to gain grace, to be saved, to be forgiven. You have to be perfect. But, the Book of Mormon says, hey, there's no commandment that was given you that you can't fulfill, so why aren't you fulfilling it? It's ridiculous. So a lot of Mormons will tell me, oh, well, we got the spirit world, we got spirit prison, we got the afterlife, we can finish it there. Okay. Well, in 1970, during the General Conference, Apostle Herman Rector or Lecter, I always get his last name mixed up. Anyway, he quoted Brigham Young, who said, yes, it is possible to achieve that perfection in the spirit world, but it's going to be 100 times harder than it is here on earth. Why? Because you won't have a physical body. So if it's impossible for you to do it here, what's 100 times impossible? I mean, let's really reason, okay? Let's reason together. Well, I've been at this for about an hour. No one, people have been popping in and out to listen. But I don't think anyone has had the guts. Tomorrow, I'm going to go stream live for a few hours, see if I can get anyone in here. Because I think the rest of you, you don't have an answer for it. You're really big mouths when you get on the Facebook and other debate forums, or where you can type it out, and you're keyboard warriors. But when it actually comes to talking, to debating, to discussing, you won't do it. You hide because you don't have an answer. You don't have an answer. Instead, you're just going to sit back and say, oh, Christianity's wrong. And you're going to take scripture out of context and misquote it. You have no clue. You really have no clue. No clue whatsoever. So I've given everyone an hour to respond, to come onto the stage. There's 2 links on the top of my screen. The first link is the link to the Discord server itself. Okay, you could join in that way. The second link is the link directly to the stage. You could have joined any time. It's free. It doesn't cost you anything. But you won't do it because you don't have an answer. So I'll see you tomorrow if you have an answer. You know what, guys? It does my heart good knowing that Christ still stands strong. His word lasts forever and ever. Jesus is alive right now. Muhammad is dead. He's rotten to the bones. Buddha's dead. Gandhi's dead. All right. Jesus is alive. Even the Muslim will admit that Jesus is alive. Empty grave, folks. Empty graves. Explain that. Explain that. You can't. You cannot explain it. So I guess I'm just going to go ahead and end it, because there's no one else here who really, I guess, has the guts to talk. I'm gonna listen to the music a little bit more than I'm to give someone a chance to talk. But if they don't want to, I'll just end the stream. Let's listen. No one else, just they've given up. So, all right, here we go. I will be back, guys. I will be back.